what is up, guys? Welcome to a little bit more of a cleaner format. Today we're going to be discussing Royals and Kageros and how they're going to be fighting each other in G era in October for Japan. So let's go over Alt Mile again. It's a Generation Break 2 unit, and we just went over some more cards for pretty much Royals. They have a Shine Dragon coming, and they have this coming as well, but possibly another extra stride on the side as well that won't be as good as Gablade. But Gablade seems to do a lot of work. So Alt Mile's whole gimmick is when you stride, you call up cards from your hand, and then you just choose 2 units. Doesn't have to be the cards you called. Give those units 5,000 power. So obviously you're going to have a 5k resist unit, so that becomes a 10k booster. So that's nice. And then you're just doing other things with that in the long run. Both booster columns are going to get back boosted by 5,000. And then you're going to do a multi-attack where you hit magic numbers. How's that going to happen? What Gablade does is when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, so do not use this on 5th damage, it will not work. Once the attack hits a Vanguard, call a grade 2 or greater from your deck. Like we said, Spirit comes into play once again, or pretty much you'll be calling the Violinist, which we went over, because it says when placed, Soul Blast 1, CB 1, and then call a grade 2 other than this from your deck. So you pretty much have, like, I guess 2 other choices depending on your G2 lineup for this. And you're good to go from there. Gablade is very scary. 4th damage scary. And pretty much not only 4th damage scary, but he can even be 3rd damage scary because he can push you and still try to give that 2 PG knockout, especially with you're calling a Spirit with Violinist. If you played 1 Violinist, then you're doing this, you're doing that, and you're just doing a little bit of play-by-play every now and then. But what is going to be talked about is the Encouraging Angel. When placed, return this unit to your deck and then choose 2 of your units, and they get 3,000 power. So pretty much you're supposed to combo that with Alt Mile, giving 8,000 power to 2 back row columns. So I'm guessing they're all supposed to hit 15k. If we're hypothetically speaking, all your boosters are 7ks, and they're properly set up, etc. Even though they won't be due to Kageros and Gear Chronicles sniping those. That's the whole point of Alt Mile's gimmick. He needs his pieces on the board to make the multi-attacks a reality and guaranteed hits. The G0 helps in this logic of doing that due to the fact that she does the thingy, giving those units an extra 3k, so it's an automatic hit because 8,000 booster to a 7k column guarantees a 21k already, because that extra 3,000 is a justifiable means to hitting magic numbers. Interesting enough. But Violinist, you're going to need 4 of those indefinitely, because that's right there, your multi-attacker with Gablade. That Gablade combo will be used and abused, and Alt Mile's 5,000 power creep is just going to be the bread and butter of everything. Now let's talk about the kageros. So BladeMaster pretty much kept his TCG effect. It's a Generation Break 2, so you just need to face up G units in the G zone. Or, yeah, it always works. If it was a G unit, it'd be a much different story, because then it would say Generation Break 2, where he can be the Vanguard and he has a card face up, so... But there's like very limited of those, but those actually come more common later. Anyway, so what BladeMaster does is its TCG effect. During your turn, if you have more rear guards than your opponent, this card gets 5,000 power and a critical, which you will be having more cards than your opponent, because every time you attack and intercept and your field is full, you gain that no matter what. Other effect, when your G unit strides, CB1, choose 1 of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So with that being said, it kept its TCG. So it does what Chrono Jet does for a CB1, except Chrono puts a card on the bottom. This card just says bye-bye card. It's plain and simple. This card apparently we didn't go over. It wasn't in our unboxing, pretty much, the set 1 booster, which is weird. Which means, was this a trial deck I don't know about? If so, let's read it. CB1, turn a card, face down card into your G-Zone face up, so it's not Persona, it's anything, to retire 1 of your opponent's rear guards. Then choose 1 of your units for each of your Divine Dragon Knights Mustafa face up in your G-Zone. And they gain the following ability until the end of the turn. So these units, when they attack hits, you countercharge 1. So pretty much you get this effect. Either way, because this one actually is one of those units. You CB1, you turn a face down card face up in your G-Zone. Then the number of cards in your face up G-Zone, and they gain that. So pretty much... He makes a unit pretty much have countercharge abilities. If you run multiple copies of these, obviously you're going to flip 1 extra, and then when you rewrite again, you have lots of ways to countercharge and never lose CB, pretty much is what Mustafa is trying to pull off here, which is nice. And last but not least, look who it is. It's the freaking stand trigger we went over yesterday. And yes, he kept his effect. Generation Break 1. When your opponent's rear guard is retired, by the effect of your card, return this unit to your deck. Choose one of your units and it gets 10,000 power. 10,000 power is a lot. It really is a lot. Especially when it comes to 21k beatstick units. If you can prep them correctly. This card's already nutty in its own way because it's also a stand trigger. So due to the fact that the RNG shuffler is hot garbage, you might actually hit this on the first try and push really hard on your opponent. But that just means you need a unit that's going to be at 12k or an 11k. So the stand trigger matters when you do a proper restand combo play. Either way, freaking yikes. They actually made this unit and it does give 10,000. 10,000 is a big difference. Big difference, for real. Again, testing, yada yada, kageros need ways to plus, etc. Like I said, that would be tested. Obviously, I don't know if people will test G0s, but I know in a lot of profiles we'll be doing some testing on G0s in the future. For sure, just to test their mobility and RNG dependency and see what happens. So far, they gave us BladeMaster, but they gave us Mustafa. So Mustafa actually sets up that dragon we went over. When it flips himself, he flips himself again, but he retires a whole entire column. Since you already had one card face up in your G zone, you're already going to have two cards face up in the G zone because of Mustafa. So that dragon's going to retire an entire column pretty much the following turn. Yeah, pretty much kageros is legit board wiping, and we all knew that was coming. Also, it looks like they don't give a crap about intercepts, so this just means they get a solid push game. Again, that's why I think this 10k might be run, because 10k power during a stride turn is really good. You want to hit those power creep numbers, and since you are retiring a unit, and 2 units, mind you, that 10k will actually make a big, solid difference. That's like hitting 2 triggers without the drive check. So again, it's up there. It's really good. It could be really solid too. You just never know without proper testing, but this card actually is showing some promise. But Mustafa is also showing really good promise because the dude says, oh, let's countercharge too. So CB2, if you had CB3, hypothetically speaking, CB1, then you CB1 again, you're going to be wasting 2 CB anyways because you still have BladeMaster's effect, and you have this guy's effect, and you're going to be able to countercharge, which adds up to, that's right, you're dead, which is good. Which is good. kageros are looking solid. Honestly, really solid. Current change, so pretty much it's up to Royals to try to just push as much as they can while they lose their intercepts through kageros and Gear Chronicles. The whole gimmick for Royals pretty much in the G era is going to be just heavy ass pushing. While you already know your intercepts are going to die, you have to make the combo plays matter. So every time you do a combo play, make sure it's all perfect hits, and then you can fear your entire board going away. But that's why they have Violinist, and that's also why they have a countercharger too, to profit off the Violinist. And he becomes an 11k beatstick. That's pretty solid to me. Seriously. So Royals are going to be in a good position anyway. So they're just going to be all about pushing hard. One turn, they lose all their cards. Then they just got to do it again, etc. I mean, this card just sets up those types of plays too. So again, more power to you. But this is just one stride. And we already looked at a different type of stride. The Holy Shine Dragon that gains a crit for all your units. But that's possibly Shining Blow is going to be weird unless, yeah, he's just weird because he doesn't really do a retire effect. He just gains a crit and 3,000 power. He just power creeps over the G0 heals, and that's about it. So there's that. I mean, I guess that's another way of putting it, like, he's just trying to power grade. But we'll see what other stride Royals they're going to show us, because they technically did confirm another kagero stride that we talked about, and it was that woman that looked like a vanilla, but her effect was when this attack hits, the Vanguard retire another unit. We went over that in yesterday's video, and she is confirmed coming as well. So again, more premonitions to those cards are coming true. So that's good to know. So maybe we will see, those countercharges we'll see those PGs that countercharge. Maybe. We're gonna have to wait and see. But Mustafa is doing Mustafa CC things, and this card's just saying, I'm gonna make my units big boys, GG's, no re-ring. Pretty much guaranteeing attacks regardless. They don't have any multi-attack with this besides just hitting 3 damage guaranteed every turn. This card kind of guarantees the 3 damage every turn, pretty much. It's always going to be 3 damage every turn. So there's that. So they're going to be pretty good kageros for what they're worth. They'll always guarantee it. They're never really not going to hit when they need a hit. Then it just comes down to G0 and PGs. So kageros are looking pretty strong. All right, guys, that's it for today. Y'all be good. Y'all stay safe. And we'll see y'all another time. And don't forget, Royals do technically get a end game card that legit says when this unit attacks the Vanguard, CB, call a card, and yada yada. Pretty much they got an end game attacker, which is really good too. But we'll see if that comes. It might actually, but we'll see. If they get that, then Royals have a new way of ending games on PG and obviously heals. Thanks for watching, guys.